All right, just finished with Zooms for the day. Getting down here to finish out the updates and edits and everything that I want to go over in the book that I published. That was a supposed solution for the youth sports injury epidemics we were seeing with torn ligaments in the arms of baseball players, non-contact ACLs in everybody, pediatric ACL tears, stress fractures in spines, kids getting medicated for their inability to perform, and all healing responses, all everything. But I'm going through the depths of everything that I was to provide if you couldn't see me. The whole point was to put this out there because we weren't really doing Zooms yet. That wasn't a thought. And geez, I mean, had I known with what I'm doing now, would I have published today? No, of course not. Because in my opinion, the solutions won't be in a book of any kind. The author is you, and the book is life experiences. But guidance, I'm all about. But I want to work with people one-on-one or work with these intensives in this Zoom capacity. So it's basically going back through the changes I've made in the last 5 years personally and professionally since publishing this. I want to share some details around the publication process, around the titling, what the point was, what I wanted to do, what I wasn't allowed to do, and then just how things are presented to the public. I want to share truths around that. And then what we actually put within the book, because to know that people aren't going to be able to work with you, how is it possible to frame something so that people can work within the capacity of principles and concepts that they have to independently find on their own? And I don't think I did a good job of that, per the medicine I'm discovering now and the depths of my experiences and working with people and seeing what works and what doesn't. There's a better way, and what's within these pages right now is not it. And I know that, and I'm frustrated with that, and so I want to make these corrections and these updates and these edits and get this stuff out there, and no better way to do it than a Zoom intensive with how I actualize these things. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. my time, Pacific time, we're going to sit across from each other for 2 hours. You're either going to have this in front of you or you're not. I'm going to go through every single section for the first 2 parts of the solution. That is the first, stay with me, hold on now. Shit. Mucho. First 118 pages. So it's the first 118 pages that we're going to go over. I'm going to go through every single part of it. I'm going to show what I meant to say here, what I've revised since then, what I never would tell somebody to do, and what's just completely and falsely inaccurate. It was accurate to what I had access to at that time, with who I was at that time, and I am completely different now. And as we all should be, as practitioners should be, and as a practitioner evolves, they're not grasping more treatments and more supplements and more labs and more tests and more things and more letters after their name and more words. They're stripping and getting rid of and cutting free. That's the point. If a practitioner is truly evolving, you know they're not evolving if they're just changing their medicine to just new things, different things, or adding degrees or adding certificates or adding licenses. Like, I'm a massage therapist who's also Reiki, who's also physical therapy, who also runs a homestead, who also fucking runs Jesus. Because you really don't know what any ounce of what's going on. Because if we truly are evolving, we're stripping away from all that. And then if you get to a point, you'll see why true medicine will never be in a degree or a licensure or ever between bound. It'll never be bound into a book because it can't be. That's stagnant. This is 2018. Principles and concepts, as long as humans are evolved to or devolved to the cells, tissues, organs, and systems that we currently have right now, those are the rules we got to play by. But a solution can never be bound on a specific date because it's always changing. And so I want to go ahead and make those corrections and share the deeper details behind a lot of the shit I wasn't allowed to talk about because I had to do a 30-second soundbite on a national news program where I was coached or I was in a sport coat. And if I were saying things that were true at the time, I would never have been invited on a lot of those shows. Or if my dad wasn't by my side, that wouldn't have been an option. And I want to share about that as well. Because the true nature of why he was there, pretty cool. Anyway, a lot of truths are going to come out of this. Mostly it's the updates and edits to the book that you guys have had access to for 5 years or 3 months or however long you've had it. So there is an investment. You will show up. I will give my time, which is the most valuable thing. The most important asset we have is our time and energy. And you're getting it, and you're getting a minimum of 2 hours of my time tomorrow. So come ready to change, as I said in my previous Zoom intensives. But we're going around the concept of the updates around this book, Minimize Injury, Maximize Performance, in the 304 pages. We'll put it in 2 parts to make it more sustainable, so it's not a 5 or 6 hour Zoom, because it would be. So imagine if you could just catch up with an author after he wrote a book 5 years ago and see what's changed in his life, and what would he say now? What were the depths and the truths behind some of the things that he's positioned? You've heard me say it before. I mean, even just the basic of, why'd you give up your degree and your title and throw away your tables, and why do you denounce chiropractic? I know I've said it before. I'll go into those details as well, because I was a chiropractor when I positioned this. Made it kind of cute and pretty to put doctor in front of my name, but that was a problem. So we'll go and get into this. I'm going to finish this out with my training for today and some other things. But tomorrow, 5 p.m., I'll take registrations up until you know this. Email me for details, registration details, info@TommyJohnIII.com. Look forward to seeing everybody there. Books in hand, ready to burn them. Just kidding. You do what you want with them. I'll see you tomorrow.